At 16, you left high school. And as you say, like that kind of parenting was not healthy, but it did teach you to be a lot on your own, and you learned a lot about yourself, I would assume. I feel
Makes you resourceful. Yeah.
right. Like I learned a lot more when I left school than I did when I was in school. So what were some of those things that you kind of realized when you were being independent at such a young age that kind of helped you? I mean, your career blew up later in your life, but what do you feel really helped you?
Again, I mean, I think being left alone did ultimately help me become very resourceful. And being resourceful is a skill set that most people should acquire.
Mhm.
It allowed me to figure it out for myself. Test boundaries. Uh, you know, I think it released most of the limitations that a kid has. It released all of those. So now my mindset expanded where other kids, they're still being told, go to school, be quiet, get good grades, sit down, shut up. I was just left alone to figure it out. But that made me create some mistakes too. So, I've obviously paid for some mistakes in life, but we all will. The question is are you going to pay for them yourself or are you going to let me pay for them? Because like you read that book at 20 years old, dude, you better read it again and again and again and highlight the shit out of those things. Because if you get what I'm saying in that book right now, bro, I just saved you 10 or 15 years of brain damage and trial and error.
Yeah, I say books and mentorship. I hired my first mentor, my first coach when I was 17, invested more money than I had in my bank account. And it changed the way I looked at myself and it changed the way that I showed up for myself. And I say there are no cheat codes in life, but there definitely are shortcuts if you're willing to put in the work, because that's usually when the work starts, which is it's funny that it works that way. You're big on getting new information in because beliefs are such a massive role in the way that we take action. And that's really a lot of what this podcast is about. What were some of the things or books that you read early on that kind of reshaped your beliefs on what you thought was true versus what you realized needed to be true?
Well, Think and Grow Rich, everyone always talks about that one.
Hmm.
Laws of Attraction or the Law of Attraction, The Science of Getting Rich,
Hmm.
As a Man Thinketh, The Four Agreements, I think had a huge impact.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of books recently that you read, you go, wow, I didn't even realize this book existed back then, but now
Yeah.
you're starting to discover them. So there's a lot of books, bro. The point of self, or creating knowledge for yourself, which is seeking information. You seek
Hmm.
information because you need to change something that you believe. Because the reason you're not where you want to be is basically because you don't have the right information or you don't have the right relationship. And sometimes it's both. So what you want to do is you want to go out and meet people. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. You want to grow your network. I got enough friends. No, there's no such thing, man. You want to know everybody if you can. And you want a good reputation. You want to be ethical and you want to be fair. And obviously, you do. This is going, and we're going to assume that you're a good person. So at the end of the day, you want a massive network. You want to be, right in the middle of everything, don't you? Well, how do you do that? Well, you got to go out and introduce yourself, build relationships. So you build relationships, right? That's where all the money comes from in the first place. You know that every dollar you'll ever receive is going to be from a relationship.
Absolutely.
So you got to go out there and start like building these relationships. And then, you will eventually, if as long as you focus on your mindset, your skill set, and your habits, you're going to be able to freaking do anything you want, anything, assuming you get to live. See, 20 years old, your problem is you think you have all the time in the world.
I
And see,
don't.
dude, you might not know it, but there could be a crystal ball that says this guy James, young, promising kid, died in a car crash with his buddy who was drunk coming home from a bar. Like you don't ever know, or you weren't even drunk. You were coming home from a self help seminar and somebody smashed you with a truck. Like you never know. So what we do is we need to like pay attention even when you're young, especially when you're young, and you remember, dude, your life is short, and if you really let that sink in, dude, you will be more active than you've ever been, and you'll be right for doing so because it's true. Like I could live longer than you, bro. Most people think, oh, dude, he's 20, he's going to live a lot longer. Well, dude, that's not guaranteed. That's not promised at all. and if you realize that, dude, you'll get up and you'll realize, holy shit, dude, I ain't got much time left. And then you'll accelerate everything, all your experiences and everything that's going to happen to you in life. You're just going to accelerate the positives. Because again, you're 17, you're hiring coaches and mentors. Dude, I didn't do that shit. I still don't do that shit. Like, I'm still skeptical. Like, what the fuck do you know? But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, when there's somebody that really knows and you know they know based on the evidence, you know, obviously look what he did. Okay, so bang, that's who you emulate. That's who you learn from. You learn from the people that have already accomplished what you're trying to do. And most people don't do that. And again, like, that's common sense if you ask me. The fact that you're learning it so young is what's impressive, because it took me probably till about 40 to learn that, maybe even 45.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, man, you're already way ahead, dude. You should be talking on this podcast all by yourself. Why are you interviewing me?
Yeah, well, relationships, right? Like you said, like relationships is, regardless of where you are, relationships are the one thing that, I mean, whether it's business or in life, relationships are really the only thing that matters at the end of the day. I mean, there's so many other things that play a role, but like you said, I definitely, I don't believe I will last long. My father and uncle both passed away at 37 years old. So growing up, I saw mortality straight in front of my face, and I saw, okay, well, life really isn't forever. And a lot of people in my family passed away young. And so I see that, and I think I need to have some kind of urgency in the beginning of my career. And that's why I started so early. But what were some of the things, or what is something that you wish you knew in the beginning of your career?
To think bigger, not worry about what everybody thought, build my self-worth, read. That's about it. Think bigger, read, not worry about everyone's opinion.
When you say think bigger, that's like the core of this podcast really is. I don't want people to think small, and most of the time we can never imagine what we'd be able to create. Like with Lightspeed VT, I assume that when you began it, you had no idea what it would build into. So how can we think bigger when we don't really have a conceptual idea of what the thing is going to become? Because it's always going to be bigger most of the time.
Well, not in my experience. Like, I thought Lightspeed would be bigger than it is.
Really?
I thought we'd get there way faster, and it'd be way bigger, and it'd be way easier, and it would take way less money, way less effort. And usually I think that's the case. Okay. You need to think big, right? So big, you can't even believe it yourself. Like, you think big. It's never too big. Like, can you make $1 million? Dude, you can make $100 million. You could make $1 billion. You could make $100 billion. People used to think $100 billion, no way. You know how much Elon Musk is worth?
180 billion?
Okay, let's just say.
Yes.
Alexa, what is the net worth of Elon Musk?
$4 billion US.
Alexa, repeat.
Elon Musk is worth an estimated $204 billion US.
Okay, $204 billion. James, do you understand how much money that is?
No.
Okay, $204 billion. If you only had one of them, just 1 billion. Forget the other 203 of them, just 1 billion. And it was only in a bank account. Like, you didn't touch it, you just put it all in a savings account, and it was generating 3% a year, which you technically could get 5 to 10 to 20% pretty safely on $1 billion. But let's just say you could only get, let's go 5%. You know what 5% of $1 billion is? What do you think 5% of $1 billion is?
Is it 50 million?
$50 million, bro.
Yeah.
If I gave you $50 million a year, you wouldn't be able to spend it all. You might for the first year or two. You might be out there living like a rock star, right? Buying houses, buying watches, buying cars, buying hookers, buying blow, buying whatever it is you freaking youngsters think is cool. Entourage, private jets, all the lifestyle shit. But after 2 or 3 years of me giving you $50 million every freaking year, pretty soon all those things are paid for and you can't spend it. Your money starts stacking up. And you're like, what the hell? That's why you got to be savvy of what to do with money. You got to understand finance. But at the end of the day, That's very rare that you're ever going to make that much money. So $1 billion, he could give you $1 billion, me $1 billion, right? And then he's still got 202 billion left. How much interest do you think he's making on $204 billion? Now, by the way, why do I say all that? Because it's possible. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you don't realize you could make $204 billion, how do you know? Because Elon Musk did. Well, that's Elon Musk. So, like, are you not a miraculous human being like Elon Musk? And if you go, no, well, dude, you got a self-worth problem. That's the problem. We got to fix your mindset. We got to fix your skill set. We got to fix your habits. Elon Musk has an incredible mindset, an incredible skill set, and incredible habits. How do I know? Evidenced by what he's accomplished. So if you had his mindset and his skill set and his habits, brother, you'd probably be worth a couple $100 billion too. Okay, but you don't. Why? You don't even know what he does. Well, I read his book. Dude, you don't know shit about Elon Musk. What he went through, what's formed him, what processes he goes through mentally, silently, that he's never documented. You know, someone says, you know, like I like to say, Elon Musk, again, I love the dude, impressive. However, give me billions of dollars and I'll freaking go to the moon too, like, you know, or Mars or wherever the hell he's going. Because like when you have that much money, like you could literally be a mad scientist. You know, you can literally hire the world's smartest people and spend $30 million a year developing something for 5 years. That when it comes out, boom, dude, it's worth billions. Because you had the money to do it. You see what I'm saying? So when he sold PayPal, like to me, PayPal was his accomplishment. Once he sold PayPal, in my mind, like, boom, now he's got a bunch of money. Now, he could have just blown it all. Correct, but he's not stupid. Elon Musk is not a stupid dude. So he had a bunch of money and he had big ideas and he put all of his money in Tesla and I believe SpaceX. All of it. Who would do that?
Not many people.
Not many. Okay, so that's a mindset. He's okay with risk. Okay, he's not too risk averse that he's so scared to do it. Now, he almost went out of business a couple times from what I read. Well, again, all of that is mindset, right? Plus he has his skill set to hire, to fire, to identify, to recognize. That's a skill set. And then he's got his habits. What does he do? He sleeps at the factory, bro. So imagine the work ethic and almost the psychotic episodes he must live through to be Elon Musk. So I say all that to say this, if someone's listening. What makes Elon Musk so much better than you? $204 billion. Okay, that just tells you that it's possible. Okay? Like the only thing Elon Musk has on me is $204 billion. Okay? If that's not the truth, well then here's my challenge. Elon, give me 10 billion of your 204 billion and I'll turn that into more than you have within the next 5 years. And I'll do more good for humanity than electric cars have. I'll just say that. Give me 10 billion, give me 5 years, I'll save the fucking world too.